Hey there, welcome to the Blue Sky Sanctuary. That's my property in the Baja in Mexico, where I've been living full-time since 2021 and part-time since 2018. And over the years, I've documented a lot of what I've been up to here on the channel, from purchasing property to building to transitioning to off-grid living. And I'm excited to get into today's topic because I've been putting it on hold for years, literally, because I didn't want to incriminate anybody. Basically, I got my temporary residency 3 years ago without any financial requirements met, and I wasn't sure how legit the program was that I was taking advantage of at the time. And so if you're familiar with how things often work in Mexico, you can sometimes pay to get into something like residency, or you can pay to get out of something like a traffic ticket. But at the end of the day, whatever you're paying for to get into or out of, the last thing you want to do is come on the internet and talk all about it to everybody. You basically just want to thank your lucky stars for being able to get what you wanted and move on with your life, which is what I did. But over the years, I have seen that the program that I took advantage of 3 years ago has continued to pop up here and there. And I spoke to my facilitator recently and confirmed that I can, in fact, talk about this here today. So let's get right into it. This is how you can get residency in Mexico without financial requirements met. And the program is called Regularization, which is a mouthful to say. But basically, a quick Google search will show you and tell you all the details about this program, why it was created and when, and how you can take advantage of it. I'm going to share a few highlights with you, just some key points for you to consider and to be aware of so that you can maybe get the ball rolling on your residency if that's something that you have been trying to do. Based on the comments on my channel, that's a lot of you. So let's get right into it. The first thing that you need is to be here in Mexico on an expired visa, which is funny because basically the first thing you need to do is break a law in Mexico. So your tourist visa is what you get when you come into the country. You get it automatically. It usually is for 6 months. And then after the 6 months is up, you'll be considered on an expired visa, and you can then apply for this program. The next thing that I would recommend you do, this is just my personal opinion, is to get a facilitator. I'm going to put my facilitator's name and contact info in the description of this video. She did an incredible job, and I would expect that most facilitators are going to make your process so much easier that they will be well worth the money. I can tell you, based on my own experience in the INM office, the way that we went through the process was so simple, streamlined, efficient. We were in and out of there in, I would say, under 2 hours. And it was an absolute celebration. While I saw other people without their facilitators getting very frustrated and impatient and really not getting anywhere, those people also were not bilingual, so I don't know what they were expecting when they show up at a Mexican immigration office without speaking Spanish. But anyway, a facilitator will go a long way to facilitating your process. So whatever amount they charge, whatever their fees might be, that will vary depending on the person and the location. I'm pretty sure you'll find it will be worth it. If you want to take the long road around, you can try it without the facilitator and see how you do. But if you want to take the shortcut, get the facilitator. Another thing that you can expect is to pay in the ballpark of $1,000 for the processing of the application. My understanding is you're basically paying for your immigration fees for 4 years all at once up front. And again, that felt super worth it because if you're living in Mexico, that means you don't need to leave every 6 months to renew your tourist visa. And that saves you all your travel expenses and just the general inconvenience of having to come and go from the country. Also, if you do happen to leave the country and you come back in and you have your temporary residency, you get to use the locals lineup at the airport. So that's super fun because the foreigners lineup is usually about 20, 30, 40 times longer than the locals lineup at the airport. So I have, since getting my residency, used that short line at the airport, and it was super fun. Anyway, those 3 points are all I really wanted to share with you today. Basically, it's the expired tourist visa, the tip on getting a facilitator, and the roughly $1,000 fee that you're going to incur at the INM office. There's a handful of other rules or kind of fine print that go along with this, which you can find online or you can learn when you speak to whoever is going to facilitate things for you. But what I can tell you is that the rules vary by office and by location. And we don't know how long the program is going to last. It appears to me that it kind of came and went over the last 3 years. So the reality is, I think for all things here in Mexico, you need to be here to take advantage and to make the most of whatever opportunity you can. If you are purchasing property, it's best to be here. If you're building, it's best to be here. If you want a rental unit, it's best to be here. And with this, of course, it's best to be here. I have seen people say that it can be done from outside the country, but I'm pretty sure that it's safe to say it will be infinitely easier for you if you are here. So I hope this video at least lets you know that there is a way it can be done. You don't have to have the $5,000 a month going into your bank account. You don't need the massive amount sitting in your bank that you see when you Google what the financial requirements are for residency. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I really appreciate the conversation back and forth with you and our YouTube and worldwide community. Your questions and your comments absolutely help me show up here week after week with new content for you. I hope to have an update on the sanctuary here and off-grid life and how it's going. That should be coming soon. But any questions, please put them in the comments, and I will leave it at that. I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye for now.
There are so many bottles in this ravine near my place. It is like a treasure hunt in here. There's little tiny bottles, like that little Coke bottle. Look at that tiny little thing. And big wine bottles, infinite beer bottles. All sorts of bottles. More than I can even use.